We're back with Jason Johnson, and joining us, the Nation's Joan Walsh. There is the substance of this, which I've mentioned and covered.
Yeah.
Then there's the politics, and that's what is the punchline for Stewart, that you never know exactly where the line is with people who traffic in so much misinformation. But best we can tell, there is emotional, what I would call genuine disappointment on the right, because what they didn't understand or didn't care about has now reasserted itself. The reality that their savior, Donald Trump, is apparently too tied to this to be a savior on this story.
To be transparent and release everything. But, you know, we've seen him step in it before, and he does not often get into the trouble we think he should get into, Ari. But this might be a time that he does, because just to bring up, yeah, he stole some women from me. Like, the first day that came out, I immediately made the connection with Virginia Giuffre, because she said I was taken from Mar-a-Lago. I was a spa attendant. I was 16. And she often, throughout her testimony, said it was a hub for Maxwell and Epstein to poach girls. And so Trump kind of confirms that, and then he goes as far as to say, when someone asks him, do you mean Virginia Giuffre? He's like, I don't, yeah, actually, yeah, they took her from the spa. They stole her, which, of course, was horrific and made her family extremely angry, and made a lot of people start following the implications of that. If he knew that he stole her, she couldn't be stolen. She is a human
being, yeah.
But if he was using that terminology, what else did he know at the time? Subsequent to that, how many other girls, women, he knew something was going on, and then finally, and it took 7 or 8 years, I kicked him out. We don't really know why he kicked him out, but he didn't really care that much about it until something happened.
And it goes back to shining a light on other long-standing problems with Trump, what Joe Rogan calls gaslighting.
Right.
This is not the first story where Trump can credibly be documented as lying and gaslighting. But for the Joe Rogan crowd, maybe it is to them, because they're finally calling it out, right? The abuse of the pardon power. No modern president, we've had presidents do all kinds of things, but no modern president has ever used the pardon power this way, this transactionally, pardoned crimes against police and the United States and sedition. But now, the idea that he's saying he might pardon the only person in prison for the Epstein crimes, and people don't think he's joking. They think he could do that, and they're now mad about it. I wonder what you think about this sort of mirror it holds up to the bag of base, that these are things other people have criticized for years. On a story they care about now, they oppose this version of Trump.
I don't know that they're going to take in the similarities with all the other things he's done.
They may not.
That they might agree with or whatever. But I think if he pardons Ghislaine Maxwell, I think all hell breaks loose. And I probably said things like this before on your show, wishful thinking that, you know, something can bring him down or cause him severe political harm. But I really think that this would be something that would unite people across the proverbial aisle. You know, there are people I don't agree with, but in the good part of their hearts, they care about child sex trafficking. We all do. We all should. And she is convicted of so much, and she got off on a lot of counts. I think it would be, I don't think he'll do it, because I think it would be so destructive. But we'll see.
And I think that's sound, logical analysis. He is still unlikely to do it for all those reasons. But he's willing, Jason, to take some of the heat at holding open the door, right? You don't often hear presidents say, I'm not ruling out a pardon for bin Laden, or you name it.
I could do it.
Yeah. And sex trafficking, like murder or terrorism, is, and I say this with all legal seriousness, one of the most heinous crimes on the books. Murder is the most serious. Crimes against children and sex trafficking are basically the second most, and you see that in the sentencing. It's not a capital offense. It's the closest thing to it, and you can get life depending on how you do it. So holding that door open, Jason,
It speaks volumes about his integrity. Now, look, if I was a gambling person, I'm not. You know, the chances that, you know, he pardons Maxwell or Diddy, I don't know which is which, right? Because he's floated both,
I
right?
know.
And there is a twisted logic that we often hear from this particular president, that he enjoys the anticipation of what kind of wild behavior he'll engage in. And that's ultimately what concerns me, because whether he does or not, the fact that he leaves open that possibility suggests that he's open to these things, and that other people who may be committing these crimes are thinking, well, you know what? I could possibly get a pardon, so I don't have anything to say. I'm not going to get involved with this. That's what endangers this whole process. We can't hope for justice for any of these victims if the president of the United States is basically saying, I've got a magic immunity totem that I could throw out at any particular point, so why prosecute, because you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
really important points. Jason and Joan, my thanks to both of you tonight. I want to tell folks